You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby. You know, it's whatever, baby.
All right, we are here on another brand new day, bright, blessed, all that. We're on season 2, whatever by Hektek. New vibes, new locations, same fuckery here and there. I'm joined by one person that's been on my show a couple times, I think. And one person has never been on my show because he's been ducking me. Now, I have both of them on. All right? You have the, I don't want to say co-host, but joint host of One Woman, One Man, or is it one man, one woman?
One man, one woman.
As it should be.
I ain't want to say the man come first.
One man, one woman podcast show. So we got Tera, Michelle, and Mr. Flan here. Yay! So
call me out. I'm ducking.
Yeah. So I want to dive deeper into the one man, one woman for a short period of time. Then we're going to get all to my craziness and how my mind works.
Okay.
How did y'all come up with the concept? Like, what was the discussion? How did that happen?
It was all my idea.
Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
I mean,
we'll see
so
how this story goes. I haven't heard this before, Hektek, so I'm with you.
It was absolutely all my idea. Because anytime we had conversations on other podcasts, or if it was just between the two of us, I like the dynamic of how different we were, how we viewed things differently. It didn't matter what the subject matter was. He always had an opinion I'd never heard before. And we always wanted to be on the side of positivity with all the negativity we see, especially between Black men and Black women on podcasts now. So I was just like, we should do a show together. I knew he was on 65 different shows already. So it took us a while to find the space and the time to do it. But that's how it came about. I liked our back and forth, and I liked how he stood out amongst other groups. And I thought that we had magic in a bottle there. And I think we do.
Okay. What kind of topics do y'all touch on? Because I heard a couple snippets that I was like, yo, okay, y'all are, it's almost like, although, I mean, I'll spoil the rest. They are a couple, but although that y'all are a couple, y'all still do hit hard pressed topics. Yeah. And I kind of like that y'all don't necessarily shy away for that based on y'all being together. So how has that been?
We don't even talk about that. Like, nobody knows that. We don't. The thing about me with our show is I don't want it to become personal or about us. I don't want people to be like, because then they get in the comments and they're asking you things that aren't relevant to, people like to get in your business. And I want it to be just, you don't know, you don't need to know. We could be, we may not be. Don't worry about that. Come and listen to what we are talking about. So we don't address that on the show at all.
Oh, so I just spoiled it?
Hopefully you edit that out.
We'll live. But I think we're able to have those kind of conversations.
My fans and your fans are different. So they, but
You're 100% correct. You're 100% different. However, they might jump over and venture off. I'm pretty sure they're not all just one, monotone person. And we talk about subjects from, politics to race to the N-word to being accepted and not accepted by our own people. We run the gambit. And we're just beginning.
Because we're going to talk about some of that shit tonight.
That's what's up. But yeah, I think we're able to have those conversations on the show because those are the same conversations we have. We have some pretty intense debates and back and forth, just in regular conversation. So all that we're really doing now is just recording it and letting other people hear it. So it's no different.
Now, because of the dynamics, do y'all ever say pause? It's getting too heated, or is there like how does that work?
I didn't straight.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
walked away.
Only once though. Only once. And
Okay.
then we regrouped and came back and did it again. Just to cut the first version and just did a whole new show.
Okay. Why what it was that heated?
It was
Mhm.
we talk about stuff, like I said, our normal conversations can be fairly intense. And then with the topics that we pick for the show, it can go there. And it's, sometimes it's hard to separate, like, that I'm talking about people in general and I'm not talking about you specifically. And I on both sides. And so some of the things that get said, it's like you immediately get that, like you can sense when it's going left, because the immediate reaction was a little too, too energetic. But
Yeah.
that one hit home. So yeah,
Gotcha.
it can be tough, but it's fun.
So
Yeah, and
what
I think the important part for us is to show people that you do not have to agree, and but you can still be cool, you can still be friends, you can still be lovers, and most important, you don't have to disrespect each other because we don't know how to talk to each other and keep it civil. You sometimes you see people talking and you think they're natural born enemies about to go handle, it outside, and these people are family members or married, and it's like that's a bad look.
listen, someone said I have the gift of being able to put myself in other people's shoes and I'm able to talk about shit that maybe I don't even care about, or my views are different from the other person's views, but still able to listen to them. In my head, I might be like, "You're a fucking dumbass," but I'm not going to be like, "Oh, I can't be." Like, there's so many people. I just had one, not really a friend, but an associate, right? And he was like, "Are you living better than you were 4 years ago?" Yes, I am. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, "But you moved," because I was able to move.
Yeah.
Like, you're proving my point. And then his thing was to pretty much say, were we better under the past administration or the current administration? I'm like, bro, if you're not doing anything remotely better than you were doing 4 years ago, it's not the administration's fault.
Facts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Big fact.
You know what I mean? And then then my other homie hit me up the next day. It was like, "Oh, I saw you and the old boy going back and forth." And I went back and saw, like, to see what happened. The comment was gone. The dude unfriended me, the whole nine. I'm like, bro, you have to be a whole bitch. And
Yeah.
and mind you, it wasn't like I was coming at him like, "You fuck boy." None of that. I was just saying, hey, from my point of view, I am doing way better. Shit, before I moved, I bought a new car. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing better than I was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is why people
Regardless
don't
of the
like to talk about
administration.
politics. People don't like to talk about politics because I think that and abortion and maybe even religion just go left so quick. It makes no sense how people just are staunchly in what they believe and don't want to hear what other people believe. I don't have to agree with you, but I do like to ask questions like, why do you feel this way? I had a friend who, when Trump first started running, was pro-Trump all the way. And I just said, Kenton, tell me why. He explained to me he was a business owner and the tax breaks he got for his business were astronomical. So for his family, he was about to bring home a ton of money. That made sense to me for him. He wasn't worried about what his black friends would how they were going to be, or how anybody else. It was you vote for your interests. Most people do. I couldn't be
100%.
mad at that.
But let's not keep with the myth that the stimulus was just given to us. No, it was already
No,
our
these
money.
were tax breaks for a business. It had nothing to do with stimulus.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying for other people like,
Mhm.
"Oh, well, I got stimmy checks." Yeah, but you're paying for that shit now. You know
I
what I
don't think
mean?
they understand it. I don't think they understand at all. I'm telling you, they do not understand how that process works at all. It's
The
just like
government,
somebody gave me some money, and so this is my person.
yeah,
But Hector, Tara and I were talking about this earlier today, and I think because I've gotten tired. I don't, I guess you may or may not have noticed, but I'm not around as often. I don't do as many shows. I'm not everywhere like I used to be, and it's just like I'm just some of these shows are the debate or the conversation is not for information, it's for entertainment. Like they just want to debate. So they're not there to learn anything or to really give you any new information. It's just who can win the fight or how entertaining of a battle can we have. And so like that's the part that's getting tiring to me, and why I like
unfortunately though, it's the same way with our movies, music, everything. Everything's so clickbaitish, everything's so gimmicky that instead of people being able to have actual real dialogue, it's one person screaming at the other person because they feel their views are not good enough or their views are more better than their other views. And it's like, no, shut the fuck up. Listen to have an intelligent conversation, not listen to respond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So yeah, I get it. There's shows that I will watch when I want to be informed. And then there's shows that I want to watch when I just want to have my brain just sit and gook and just, you know what I mean? So
yes.
Yeah. Everything has a place.
Everything has a place. Unfortunately, if we were to have a reality TV show, it would probably fucking be canceled because there's not enough fights and bitch and fuck. You know what I mean? It ain't enough of that. You know what I mean? So that's unfortunately, even on Twitter and social media, drama gets spread way more than positivity.
Yeah.
You could say, yo, I just, I got blessed. Well, it depends. Because, if you say I got a new car, how people tend to give you some kind of grace on that. But like, if you really, really, really was out here just winning life, people gonna get mad at that shit and not respond as often.
Yeah,
but I get.
I see that. Like I did something a couple of months back where I was constantly posting like reels and clips of our podcast and stuff like that, and I was noticing like I'm getting a couple of people who, like it, no shares, none of that. So I just decided to stand in front of my perfume thing and just take a picture of my ass as I was rearranging my perfume.
I missed it.
As I was rearranging my perfume.
In the jeans, Hektek.
And baby, let me tell you something. The amount of likes, the amount of comments, the amount of DMs. I'm like, see, this is what's wrong with y'all. It's about sex sales. That's what it is. If I'm on here being raunchy or doing something for no reason, reason at all, you all the way here. But if I'm trying to share something that I'm passionate about, that is a positive outlook on things, you ain't got time for it.
Well, in fairness, right? Anytime it pops up, I do try to like it, or go or listen or something of that nature. Sometimes we could all probably notice social media is a beast of its own, and how the algorithm's supposed to work is not working that way anymore. It's now.
That's not on Facebook.
Oh my Jesus!
I'm seeing stuff from 8 days ago for the first time. I'm like, what were you doing with it for 8 days?
And it's my own post.
Exactly.
It's my own post. Exactly. I'm not even seeing comments and none of that shit. So no, I get it. So I give people grace. I tend not to share too much of my own shit just because I just be like, I don't care as much. I probably should, but I just don't. I feel people that's for me are going to be for me.
Yep. I tell people all the time, when people start their YouTube channels and they're like, oh my God, nobody's watching. You need to be doing this one because you love it. It should be your outlet and you're doing it because it's fun and you love it. And your people will find you. Chill out. They'll come. Whoever's meant for you will go. Let's do sub for sub. Oh my God, I'm so frustrated, I'm going to quit. Well, if you're looking for overnight success and you think Joe Rogan's numbers or Joe Budden's numbers are about to be your thing, you might need to find something else to do.
But they also forget Joe Budden's on his fourth or fifth show.
And he was already famous when he started doing. He had a fan base. So did Joe Rogan and Trevor Noah and all these people with their successful podcasts were already rich and famous.
Shay. That's such a
you know what I'm saying?
Name.
So it is. Oh my God, that boy's so zesty. And this whole thing with the Michelle, I just don't buy it. I don't know. It's gross.
So for me, I mean, y'all know what I do. Nothing was on camera, bro. Y'all could have been over here eating popcorn, smacking your hands together.
I'm with Cameron. Like Cameron said, it take too many steps to go live on Instagram for you to accidentally go live while your phone
and
is
not know.
And not know. You got to say, I want to go live. You got to say, yes, I'm sure I want to go live. You got to do too many things to get all the way to live.
And then, bro, you supposed to be top tip shape, and you sounding like you about to kill over any moment.
He's still an older man. I mean, that might just be gross. I don't want to talk about this anymore because now it's playing in my head. Gross. I can't.
I ain't see the video. Hektek, I'm not trying to see the video.
There was nothing to see.
Nothing to see.
There was nothing to see.
Just
all you had to tell me was Shannon Sharp sex tape. I don't want to see it. I know automatically.
It was nothing to see though. It's just all sounds. It's just all and how you making more sounds than the female you supposed to be clapping? Anyways, but
gross.
Yeah, all these people already, it's like OnlyFans. It's called OnlyFans for a reason. It's people that already have fans to bring their fan base over to something. Yeah. Y'all, Peanut and Nut, y'all don't have a fucking fan base. Yeah, y'all might be funny on the block, but no one's really taking time out of their life to come and see y'all. To talk about the same shit y'all talk about on the block, like, for what?
You know, but they see people like Bad Baby or whatever the girl's name was saying she made 50 million in a year. 57. And that's where you want to run. And then you run over there thinking, I'm going to do, that's not how that works. Mm-hmm. She also was famous. That's the Cash Me Out girl, right?
Yeah.
She almost had, I mean, she had songs and all that other stuff. So she brought, and then she was like 18, just turned, hey, come on, you know, these perverts.
Well, yeah. Well,
all of that.
So when she became famous, she was 13. So you waited 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do better, fellas.
You waited 5. Listen, I've had some long cons, as you could say. 5 years is crazy, though.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Just not even to sniff it in real life, just to see it.
I mean, you remember back in the day, people would call.
What that thing smell like?
You didn't know who you were talking to, and have these conversations with women over the phone for $5 a minute. So men have long been paying money for the fantasy of the thing, long before they could see the thing. So I'm not surprised.
I say, dudes, we got to do better.
No, 100%.
I'm trying to campaign for people understanding that we place. And Hektek, this probably could be a debate we have some other time, but I feel like we place far too much importance on sex, and people are acting like addicts out here. They're making decisions as a former addict, well, not as an addict, as a person with an addiction personality. Yeah, you know, people are making decisions that are on par with the kind of decisions you make when you strung out on something.
This right here,
yeah,
more people are addicted to this than sex. Crack, heroin, meth, alcohol. Yeah. More people are addicted to this shit right here.
The thing about that is that when the people who are addicted to sex and the people who do things for sex end up making very bad, long-lasting decisions, like having babies with people they don't know, having unprotected sex with people they don't know, and coming home with things that they probably gonna have for the rest of their life.
Situations they shouldn't stay.
Yeah.
I mean, but in fairness, though, that could happen off the first time.
Absolutely. But if you weren't living your life like that, if you weren't having one night stands, if you weren't having, unprotected sex, and if you weren't out here doing crazy things like getting pregnant by somebody you've only known for 3 days, then you wouldn't have all the problems you have. And it's okay for people who can handle what they're doing. They are making these cognitive decisions and saying they're financially stable. So if they accidentally get somebody pregnant, they're going to be there. They're going to take care of it. Most people are not. They don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And now they pregnant with triplets. And the dude is gone. And she don't know his first or his last name because it was just a one-off at a club.
I tell you the circumstance that made me start thinking this way, Hektek. And it was on one of the shows with our people. I think this was on the March like 2 years ago. But somebody wrote in, it was a dude, and he was talking about this girl. And he was talking about how much he doesn't like her. She don't have anything going for her, blah, blah, blah. But then he said she get the best head he ever got. Now his question in the letter was, should I let her move in with me? So you telling me that the head is so good that you're gonna bring somebody into your personal space that you can't stand. You know, like those are the kind of decisions you make when something is a problem for you.
So as a sexual facilitator,
and your job can help keep people safe because they can stay at home and watch that and pleasure themselves.
But there's so many variables to even that story because there's a difference between a guy that gets pussy and a guy who doesn't get pussy. So maybe this chick is what he could get. So he's okay with this, right? And I mean, listen, and age and all this other shit, experience, life experience, all that shit, right? Because I know I had a girl that could grip my thing and milk it. You hear me? And she was like, hey, come through. I was like, but it's a category 2 hurricane. And I got in my fucking car, you hear me? And drove down there.
Hey, yo. Hey.
Man, life risk. You risking your life.
Hey,
man,
you gotta put her ad out there. If she got you in a hurricane, you need to let the other people know, not me.
But. Listen, I don't even remember the bitch name, but the fact that I got in my car, hail, sleet, tornado, all that, to go down there, because she's like, we all done dumb shit as kids or younger-ish age. So, but yeah, moving the chick in my, listen, I'm to the point now in my big age, I already bring the table.
Yeah.
I don't need chairs. I can stand up. So, like, what else are you bringing in here? And you talking about moving in? You're going to disrupt my peace.
That's it. So it's a peace. It's a peace.
When I walk into my crib and I walk in the door and I don't hear anything, oh, thank you.
And you got to know that about yourself. If you know that you want to be single, you want to live alone, or you want a relationship, but you don't want to cohabitate, all you got to do is make sure that the other person knows that and agrees with that.
And listen, Tara, you know a little bit of my situations. I'm quick with it. Oh, you don't align with what I got going on? Cool. We just need to part ways. No hard feelings. I am good. I'm a whole adult out here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so I wouldn't necessarily say that dude had a sex addiction. I would say that dude was just an idiot.
I just think addict is too strong of a word. But
the
level of importance that when you will place sex over your peace, like you might need to reevaluate.
Or your life, category 2 hurricane. I'm never going to forget.
Well, listen to me. Listen. You don't know peace until you have achieved it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You don't know wisdom till you, damn, fuck. Why did I do that? You see what I'm saying? So it comes with age, it comes with experience, and it comes with so many different variables that, like, once I achieve peace, oh, you want to come and do what? I'm good.
Exactly.
I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Listen, I got lefty and righty. What's up?
Facts.
Oh my
God. Why people act like they just
all
can't?
The time. He says that all the time. That is so funny.
Yeah, when you become older and wiser and know what you want to put up with and don't want to put up with, this right here, bam, I'm out. I've had a girl about to come over, right? And she waited too long. And I popped one off. Hey, do you still want me to come over? Ah, shit, I gotta work early in the morning. I'm about to go to sleep.
Y'all a mess.
Hey, Wayne said it best, and that's one of the Wayne lines I will always take to the grave. Once I come to my senses.
Post-nut clarity is a motherfucker.
Will change your life. You'd be like, damn, I had a chick asked me to come and get her, and my younger age, I would have ran that all day, right? Go pick her up, bring her back over, bang her out, drop her off, come back. I was like, hold up. I gotta go pick you up, bring you back, do my due, and get back in the car and take you back and me drive back by myself. I'm good.
Why couldn't you just stay at her house and do what you had to do and then go back home?
I don't trust these hoes.
Letting her know where you live is just as dangerous.
Gated.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm bougie like that. Gated. You gotta come through a gate.
Might say, I don't trust these hoes.
And I'm bringing you over because I know I take different ways to get to my crib. You ain't gonna know where the fuck we at. I'm
How did
good.
you get on these subjects? Lord help us.
I am good.
I lived a very sheltered life. This is what I know.
All right. So, are y'all ready? This is going to be a soft blow question. This is going to soften y'all up. Although all the other shit we already talked about.
I'm still getting warmed up to the fact that I can curse over here. You know, I can't curse on my show.
Why?
Terror, because
Listen,
grandma
first of all,
and all sorts
all
of
the time.
evangelists
He does it all
is
the
listening.
time. However, I just want it to be a safe space for people to listen. If your kids are in the car, like every
Fuck
now
them
and then
kids.
it's okay. See, every now and then it's okay. But I just want to open it up to a broader audience that may not necessarily speak that type of, colorful language.
All right, I get it. It makes sense, and then you can reach a broader audience.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on,
and we
second.
do still curse, just not every 5 seconds for no reason. For emphasis, I get it, but for just like a sailor, for why?
All right, so y'all ready for this question? Do you think we live in a tell-all society?
Nah, I'm gonna say no. I think people tell a lot, but most people aren't really being honest with themselves. Like they might be telling everything, and it ain't even the truth because they're not aware of it. I think people tell too much, but and this is part of the conversation Tara and I had earlier today. Like we have, even in our friend group, we have a lot of people who come on these shows and they say a lot. And they say a lot of personal stuff, a lot of things. You would think that there's nothing about this person that they would be uncomfortable talking about if they're gonna say all of this. And then you get them in a close personal conversation, they're a completely different person. They want things that are different than what they project. So I think we feel like it's a tell-all because people tell a lot of shit that we feel like that I would be ashamed to say that I would never have told nobody, out loud that I did that shit. And people are just saying that every day like it's nothing, but they really not ever giving us the truth or not ever really connecting with, what's really going on with them. So we're hearing a lot of shit, but it's not all of it.
Okay. Tara?
I was going to say the exact same thing, but I still think that would be categorized as a tell-all society. The majority of people need to get up in the morning and tell you, I just had a banana for breakfast, and take a picture of the banana. Like, we're in that state where a lot of it is lies. A lot of it is a facade. We're flexing for the gram and all that stuff, but we're still oversharing constantly and consistently. People use their social medias for therapy, for, whether they're happy, they're sad, they're mad. People are committing crimes, actual murders, live on social media, and various things like that. So yeah, I do think for the most part, even though a lot of it may not be true, we are still just doing way too much in this society now.
No, I know people with hundreds of thousands of followers on whether it's IG, Twitter, whatever the fuck, right? And they're a cunt hair away from evictions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they go on here, I just got this this dude just sent me a Birkin bag, and I got this new Balenciaga boots, and how you got all this shit, but where you gonna put it? You're damn near homeless. Yeah. And to your point there, Flan, listen, I've gotten up because one of my rituals is to check my emails, check social media, and then I get about my life. And when I open up a social media platform and it's fuck my baby daddy, you could go ahead and get this other bitch pregnant, but you can't come in here and take care of your own. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, who wants to read this shit early in the fucking morning?
Facts.
Why would you want everybody to know your business like that? That's embarrassing. Like he already embarrassed you between the two of you all, but now you want everybody to know is different.
Well,
it's different.
I think those particular situations, they want another girl who went through a similar situation to be like, girl, yeah, fuck him. He ain't, you can go do better. And then all these sip ass dudes be like, well, if you come over here, I'll treat you like the queen that you are. You know?
Why you gotta be a simp? Why you gotta be a simp to want to treat a woman right?
Nah.
A rando that you've never fucking met a day in your fucking life?
Listen, people have met and fallen in love
baby
at
daddy
first
drama?
sight. Trying to tell you.
Right, known baby daddy drama. No one got time for that. That means now I gotta come over. If he comes over, now me and him gotta tussle in the front yard because you still smashing him and you smashing me too. Like, come on now.
That is different.
Nah,
no,
people over the why they come to the house and I don't stay by theirs.
But like, never in life have I been super depressed, going through something, and thought, oh, you know what I should do right now? I should go live and let everybody see me cry. I'm not just gonna cry by myself. I'm about to cry, and oh no, before a tear drop, let me get the camera on, let me turn these lights on.
Put the makeup on, get the ring light.
Good. Can you see me? All right, now. It's out of pocket. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But can you imagine how long you have to be in your life for you to seek that type of attention? You don't feel like you have anybody that you know who is going to listen.
That's not true.
Care.
That's definitely not true.
Some of these people are like that. Some of these people have been crying out for attention, help, and assistance, and nobody in their family cares anymore. They could be habitually making terrible decisions and everybody's worn out. Yeah. Now you're going to social media, like you said, you want people in the comments to tell you you're going to be okay, to tell you you're a great person, to tell you you're a beautiful soul, and all those things you don't have anybody in your real life to tell you.
Listen,
I think something. Oh, go ahead.
I had someone, and I started doing this, and I mean, it's probably going to be shame on me, but whatever. Y'all ain't going to do shit because you're fake people anyways. But when people go on and be like, this is it. This is my last day on earth. Blah, blah, blah.
Why am I last?
Blah, 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 blah.
Please don't tell me you tell them to go do it.
I delete them.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
it's better than saying, yeah, they something to kill myself. Go ahead and do it on live. You got people who say stuff like that.
No, I'll just delete them because at this point, for me, like Flan says, right? To be going through everyone that I've known to end their own life never told a fucking soul.
Absolutely.
You don't want anybody to know because they're going to try to stop you.
100%. All these other people, and for you to fake doing that, I'm not going to say the word, but if you're going to fake doing that for attention, bitch, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Because you would do anything for attention at this point.
Yeah.
To what you were saying, Tera, I think for a lot of people, the problem is not necessarily that we don't have anybody, is we don't have who we want. I remember being in periods where I felt like I got nobody to talk to. And during all of those times, my mother is waiting by the phone, wishing I would call her. Or my cousin, I got homies that I ain't talked to in forever, but they not the people I want to talk to. So I feel like I don't have nobody. Right. Like these people want the attention from Facebook and Instagram. They probably do have people in their lives waiting, wish that they would reach out. And some of them don't. I'm not saying there aren't people out there that are just alone and have been through some horrible stuff, horrible families. But a lot of times we will say, I'm alone, or I feel like I don't have anybody because the person we want to respond to us isn't responding to us. But we got plenty of people that are reaching out.
No, like I remember posting one time, why do y'all girls post that y'all single on social media? And someone was like, because they're trying to let the person know that they're trying to know that they're on the market. I was like, why don't they just jump in their fucking DMs? And they'd be like, what? That's crazy. I'm like, Is it though? Shoot your fucking shot.
No, see, listen. There are some
Oh,
traditional
so
women
you
out
can't.
here. There are some traditional women out here. Not
So
everybody is this new version of this modern chick who's Alicia Keysing it. Some people just say, I'm gonna throw out subtle hints and bring them in. Some women are afraid of rejection. See, you guys were built to deal with rejection because you just somehow in the beginning of time.
No, we just were forced. We were just forced to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Somewhere in the beginning of time, someone decided that men were supposed to be the ones that courted a woman. Okay, however that happened. I wasn't there. I don't know. But you guys have been doing it for so long. A lot of us have never done that. And the thought is terrifying. And I'm just not finding out from men that it's also scary for y'all. I thought this was just what y'all did.
The one that we really want, yo. Hey, how you know what I mean?
That's how you end up on Instagram Live crying and shit.
Yeah, right. Right. You just shot your shot, and she was like, there's nothing more disheartening than you be like, hey, I really like you. And she'd be like, ew.
Or she hit you with the why.
Yeah. For real? Me? You'd be like,
it's so crazy. I just never thought about it like that. Even if a girl told you no, I just thought y'all ate it. Just that y'all were just built with some special armor where it didn't matter. I could never just walk up to a guy and be like, I like you.
But see, that goes back to just what you said, though, goes back to where when a man's showing emotion, a man is showing his vulnerability, the man is showing this and that. And then women be like, wait, that's a little too zesty for me.
Yes.
Whoa. That's
and it's
crazy.
only because we're not used to it. For whatever reason, our grandpas and uncles and dads didn't do it. So now, as new as it is for you guys to be open with your feelings, it's new for us to hear you and watch you and feel you be open with them. So everybody's learning.
For years, y'all asked for it. For years, y'all were asking for it. He won't open up to me.
A lot of people ask for things they think they won't, and then when you get it, you be like, nah. Take it back, change it back, go back to how it was.
But we also forget Papa had a whole another family on the other side of the fucking town.
Exactly. And sometimes Papa had a drinking problem that you didn't know about. Yeah. Sometimes he had a drinking problem you didn't know about. So, but we romanticize these things, and a lot of us get a chance to because Papa didn't show that. Him and Grandma were perfect in front of the whole family, and then when you went home safely with your parents, you don't know what it was. So in our head, I remember my granddaddy. My granddaddy never lost his temper. He never yelled. He never did all this. But I feel. So I want my man to sit down and shut the fuck up. That's what I want. I'm not saying me. That's how women. That's how men. I mean, that's how women are feeling right now because we don't know that life.
But y'all need to start saying we don't know it, we don't understand it. This vitriol,
and can you give it to us?
Pushback and this anger is not helping.
And can you give it to us in increments? Because we can't have it in large doses. Right.
Yeah. Say what you want, but stop calling people gay because they ordered a cheesecake.
Let's face it too. Whoa, I love cheesecake. That's crazy.
I mean, you know right now, Hektek. Every day it's a new thing that
if you bite into a hot dog, you gay. But those are jokes. Nobody
fall asleep
really
while
when
your friend driving, you gay. Like everything is, That
threw me for a loop. Fuck, cheesecake.
My fault.
I'll throw out some hints and I'll be cutesy and I'll let you know I'm interested, but you have to approach me. I simply cannot.
Listen, there's nothing worse in my life, and it's happened to me numerous fucking times. Me and this person are around each other. I fucking the shit out of them, right? Cool. I leave, and it's like platonic. I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're not interested. I get back to wherever the fuck I come from. They go back to wherever the fuck they come from, and then they be like, I was trying to throw you a little hint. Were you? When? When I had grabbed a hot dog and I put some mustard on it. The fuck?
Women are the worst flirts ever. And usually the more attractive the woman, the worse she is at flirting.
First of all, that is not true. There might be some women who are like that.
Super facts.
These are facts? Really? Let me tell you something.
I want to be a millionaire, right? Cool. I might not know everything that comes with being a millionaire, but I still, once I get that million, I'm kind of like, oh shit, this must come with it. You can't ask for men to be emotionally intelligent, all these other things, and then when they show you that emotional intelligent side, it's like what's the Lost in Space, the robot? Oh, Will Robinson, you just fucking breaking down because you can't handle the emotion that is coming from a man. Men have emotions. Men's always had emotions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they were so good at hiding it.
Why should we hide it? And
listen, I don't want men should not have to hide their emotions. But what I'm saying is, if you take a woman who has never seen an emotional man in her life, and then she gets with a man and just it feels like he's nothing but emotion because he finally is in a space with a woman who said, okay, you can be honest and open with me. He is going to open the floodgates from when he was 2 years old and anything else he can remember all the way to now. And so now she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I know what I said, but I had no idea it was going to be that in depth. So then we got to give each other grace. We got to give men grace to figure this out, and they have to give us grace to understand how to deal with it. It's new to everyone.
I mean, I feel like, at some point there should have been some understanding. Whatever, I can't conceive of what happened that convinced women that we just didn't have emotions. Like maybe we weren't talking about them.
We're just walking through life, just
emotional. My granddaddy, I never saw my granddaddy yell, get mad, get angry. None of that. He would be in his barbershop. And he would talk to the other gentleman in his barbershop. He always had a peppermint and a butterscotch candy for me and a quarter. And then he would go about his business. So for me, and my uncles were the same way. I never saw them lose their tempers and do stuff like that. Right. So where was I going to get this info from?
Because you weren't the closest person to them. You weren't the person that they probably felt the safest around. And even when you're not expressing emotion, to believe that a human being doesn't have it, that you should be, if you see a person that's never emotional, you should be thinking there's some stuff under the current. Like there's some things going on. That's why I should be thinking
at 5 years old. I don't think so.
It ain't nothing there.
No. I mean, we get it. We get it at 5. When did you realize? Did you ever see an emotional side from those people?
No, never those people. They're dead and gone. Every last one of them is dead and gone. I never ever once saw that. Okay, no, that's not true. When my great granddaddy was dying, he was in a nursing home, and my grandmother, his daughter, had to change him because the people didn't. And the one thing he always told his kids, I never want my kids to have to change me or take care of me. And so even though he couldn't communicate anymore, he had a stroke, one tear rolled down his face when my granny had to change him. And I was still a young kid. I think I was like 6, 7, 8 when that happened. And so now that I think back on that, that was the only time I ever saw any of me.
So now in your dealings,
get emotional.
So in your dealings, you always kind of wanted a carbon copy of that.
I think it wasn't even about me wanting a carbon copy of that, because I think it's gross to look at any of your male family members and say you want somebody like them. Super, super gross. However, I just thought that's what it was. I just thought that's what it was. I had no idea that there was a version of a man who would throw a tantrum like I do. And that's not attractive to me.
No,
I'm not saying it's not allowed. Men have to have emotions. They're human beings. And I'm sorry that women as a whole have been slow on the uptake. We're just not used to it. And it does sound really stupid when you say it now. Oh, so y'all just thought men didn't have emotions? No, I didn't put any thought into it at all. I just thought they knew how to fucking act. That's how I feel when they're going crazy.
Hence why, I mean, there's more, I hate to bring it back to that S word, but there's more men that follow through with that than women.
Which is why I feel like everybody needs therapy. But most importantly, I feel like couples should go to therapy together for women to learn how to deal with their men's emotions, and men learn how to explain and move through and process their emotions in a way where it doesn't scare their women. I think a lot of us are just off-put by it, because a lot of men are raging right now. That's their favorite emotion is rage. And that's not healthy for us to deal with. We don't know how to process that.
Well, a lot of males too, they have done studies. A lot of males too are raised by single women. So so all they're seeing is these feminine based emotions. And think about it, right? Think about you being not necessarily you because you can't be a man, but imagine a little boy is with his mom, and for some reason she doesn't get whatever it is the fuck that she wants, and she throws a fucking tantrum, and people are giving her what she wants. Right? We all know these hierarchies, these matriarchs that if she says something, we all need to shut the fuck up and just do what she says. So we have
That's how the whole world should be, and it would be a better place.
But
cool.
I mean, this is the frustrating thing, as a man. If we go back, like just in my lifetime, what I've heard women ask for and then get and then not want. Like I remember it being a big push about getting in touch with your feminine side and getting in touch with your emotions. That's what women wanted from men, and they got it,
not this
and they didn't want it. Then the metrosexual thing was big, and they wanted you to manscape, and they wanted you to do all that. And then men started doing, there's too many niggas in the nail salon. We don't want that. Then it was, he never opens up to me. We want him to talk to me. I want him to tell me what's going on with him. And then we do that, and y'all don't want that. So do y'all understand what it's like being a dude? And we're going to do whatever you say is the standard. Yeah. We're going to try to meet it. And we just keep jumping.
It's incredible how y'all love to blame women. You ought to be ashamed.
What are we blaming them for? What do you feel like I'm blaming you for?
I don't think that women just opened up their mouth one day and said, I want you to. Men were over there complaining about not being able to show their emotions and being able to be vulnerable.
Never, ever.
That's not how it happened. That is not how it happened.
So we just woke up one day fantastically and said,
listen, I'm going to explain something to you. I'm going to explain something to you. Men get the good cars, the nice house, dress nice, haircuts, smell cologne, feet done, all that shit. Well, maybe not the feet because that's whatever. But men do all these things to do what? Fuck women.
Facts. If we could fuck you in a cardboard box, we wouldn't buy a house.
We wouldn't buy a house. We'd be good.
Y'all are unbelievable.
I'm just being honest. I remember in elementary school, to get the finest girl's number, you had to either have some kind of money, your family had money, something of that nature. You dress nice, and your talk game had to be superb. Well, I had one out of the three. So, fuck, I had to learn how to talk.
The fact that women magically woke up one day and started telling y'all to show y'all feelings.
Wait,
I don't understand why you feel like it was magic. I heard it over and over again. He won't open up to me. I'll prove to you. I'll prove it to you if you care to receive it, right?
Yes.
So, men do all this. So, to get this girl's number, I knew I had to talk the flyest shit to her, right? I had to make her laugh, naturally funny. Cool. Oh, she likes to laugh. Let me make her laugh, right? Because this is the way to get her in. So, by being around different women, learning different things that they like, dislike, I was like, oh, so if I dress this way, I could get this type of girl. Oh, if I have this kind of car, I could get this type of girl. Oh, if I live in this area, I could have this type of girl, right? Because subliminally, whether it's vocally or not, men pick up on, as dumb as we are, I will admit, we are fucking stupid as fuck, right? But we look at certain cues that we'd be like, oh shit, if we lied to one girl and used this one line and it worked one time, we're using that line every goddamn time. It is what it is. So whether you think as a whole, y'all did or did not say these things, it was put out there in the universe because me and Flan never lived in the same area, right? And we both heard the same fucking things.
But the only reason it came about is because
this show is the dopest show I've been on in a long time.
Oh my God. It only came about because there were men saying, I have all these emotions, or they were acting out. And women are like, what's wrong with you? Why are you not talking? Why are you not this? So you guys weren't processing properly. And so we say, okay, talk to me.
No,
But that doesn't mean we want you to go back to 2 years old all the way to now and blame us for everything that went wrong in your life.
That is not how it happened. Men were not complaining about not being able to express
Men don't
themselves.
complain about emotions.
We did other
well,
shit.
then
We
stop
went to the
talking
strip
about your
club.
emotions and stop trying to share them. Go back to how it was then.
No, it's too late. Y'all asked.
It's too late.
For this.
The floodgate is open.
Y'all made it seem like there was something wrong with us that we wouldn't do it. Like you were like, what is wrong with you that you won't talk to me? What is wrong with you that you won't share what's going on with you with me? Like y'all made it seem like it was a character flaw of ours that we weren't able to be vulnerable with our women.
Hold on, Flan. Let's play a scenario.
All right, let's go.
I'll play the female. I'll do that.
It's still gonna be weird, but it's cool.
It will be, but it will get the point across, right? Okay. So Flan, you come home. Hey, sweetie, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm cool.
Okay. I go about my business, come back. Hey, babe, you okay?
You want me to give what I used to do or what I do now?
What you used to do.
What I used to do? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Hey, babe, you acting funny. Like, what's up? Is there something wrong?
Nah, I promise you nothing's wrong. I'm just chilling. I'm in my head. Everything's cool.
Okay, now this is starting to piss me off because I done asked you several times what's wrong with you, and you keep giving me ain't shit wrong. Clearly something's wrong with you. Why don't you just tell me what's wrong with you?
I get it.
Okay.
That is still one, but see, that's still brought on because the man is acting out. You're out of character. You're
How?
He might be quiet.
The setup is real. You're purposely being quiet like that because you want us to ask you.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. And telling us the first time.
We've been quiet like that because we're processing.
Then if you don't, go back to how it was. Don't tell me
can't.
Oh my God.
Because so many, like I said, go back to that little boy. So many mothers have trained that little boy, whether it's verbally, subliminally, or whatever, you act out, I'm going to give you all these fucking feminine emotions because this is the only guideline you have in your life because your daddy's gone, your uncle's in prison. There's no more OGs taking these little kids no more, these little boys, and saying,
so
hey,
how do we fix it?
We can't. How? Because anytime... No. Therapy is great. I'm not saying it's not.
You have to learn how to control your emotions. You can't just be a loose cannon out here.
We need more OGs taking the young bulls and being what I've had. I had mad old dudes be like, hey, come over. We're going to go and, cut the yard, or we're going to go do some man shit, right?
Or
we're going to get you out of the fucking...
try to not have babies until they're married, or try to not have babies until you're with someone that you've gotten to know, and hopefully there's a 99% chance y'all actually make it. We got girls out here having babies just for a welfare check. We got girls out here having babies for a bag. So if you are purposely bringing somebody into this world without even thinking about having a 2-parent family household, you are a huge part of the problem.
Or how about we as a society start looking at men as human beings?
We do.
We don't. Nobody gives a shit about what happens to
a man's a provider. That's all we hear. He's a provider.
We are only valuable.
We didn't think that you were a human being. We wouldn't procreate with you. We can't procreate with lizards. So we know that you're a human being.
Yeah.
But no, we serve a purpose.
Treat us like we this foreign alien thing that don't go through the same stuff you go through.
And we only serve a purpose. Whatever purpose it is for that person, that woman at that time, that's what... Listen, okay.
You just said the same thing, though. We serve a purpose for y'all to knock some walls down.
But we admit these purposes.
Oh, my God, Lord Jesus.
When have we not?
And in order to get the walls knocked down, we would sit and listen to all your emotional shit and pretend to be interested in it.
You know what, sir? The ice is so thin under your feet. I just want you to know.
But listen. It's all jokes and stuff, but it's for real. Male, especially black male mental health is the last thing anyone gives a fuck about.
That's not true. There are some women who care. There are therapists who care. There are
how
mothers who care.
How many people on this earth?
Like 8.5 billion, maybe 9 billion at this point. Who the hell knows?
And you said some. That's crazy.
Well, I don't think that other countries have this problem holistically. I think
No,
this is an American thing.
Well, yeah, because I could meet a girl today, right? And I didn't even want to have relationship topics tonight, but it's just how it's flowing.
Really? Didn't you know?
At all. None at all. I could meet a girl today and I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Susie. I have autism. I just said hi.
Well, the autistic person doesn't.
But nah, listen. We are now being driven and recognized not by who we are, but by what conditions we could throw out there to make ourselves seem more important than what we are.
Or even sexuality. Yes, because 100%. I don't walk around and say, hey, I'm Tera Michelle, I'm heterosexual. But other people in other groups love to lead with, why does who you sleep with have anything to do with what we're working on right now?
Even movies.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't give a flying fuck who you're sticking what into or receiving what from if it has no fucking basis on the goddamn story.
Mm-hmm. It's like they throw it in there just to say we did it, to appease people. I saw a clip not too long ago of the Arsenio Hall show from way back in the day, of course. And it was a group of people coming to protest asking him, why you don't ever had nobody gay on the show? And Arsenio got with them. He walked up in the stands and was like, yeah, and he was just like, you don't know how many people been gay because they don't want you to know. They come on here as an actor or a musician, and who they sleeping with ain't none of your business.
No, I saw
he had Elton John on there and everything, so they were dead wrong. But a lot of people want to be known for something that they feel is specific or unique or sets them apart. And so they're going to lead with a medical condition, or they're going to lead with an addiction or something they overcame, or if they had 6 sets of triplets, something that makes them seem fascinating.
But that's like me walking up to you and be like, hey, I'm Hektek, I'm diabetic. Like, unless I'm fucking falling out and some shit, you don't need to fucking know what my medical, you know what I mean?
Like, I mean, just to play devil's advocate, I think for some of it, especially as Black people, when we went through a period where we didn't have representation and we couldn't go look in a movie and see one of us, or we couldn't go look on TV and see one of us, or see one of us in a certain light on a certain position.
They gave us one and skipped right over us.
Yeah, they skipped right over us. But those people want the same thing. They want the same thing. They want representation. They want to turn on the TV at night and see somebody that's gay and know that we exist.
I'm all for it if the storyline makes sense.
Right. There was no reason to throw Aisha Tyler on Friends other than they said, y'all had 10 seasons with no Black people. Maybe they didn't have any Black people that work with them or lived in their building. There are places in the Americas where that can happen, where everybody's white here or everybody's Black here. I didn't go to school with a bunch of white people when I was younger. I moved to the county and then they became, I told this story once before, but this is how cut off I was from white people. I remember when it was Britney Spears, like Hit Me Baby One More Time or something. We had a huge floor model TV. And I remember when they cut to her face and I was like, she is such a pretty white girl. Why would she put brown contacts on? Like who changed? I had no idea that white people could have brown eyes. I thought they were all gray or green or blue. I'd never seen a white person up close and I'd never seen one with anything other than so I thought the girl had on brown contacts. And my stepdad was looking at me like I was the dumbest person he had ever seen in his life. He was like, are you for real? He said her eyes can be brown. I didn't know that. That's how detached I was from white people. So if you write a story about your life and as you lived it, there were no gay or Black people or gay or white people.
I'm okay with that.
Why would you just,
I'm okay with it. I remember I was watching one show and it served no purpose, but they were like, oh, pretty much that this person's gay. And I was like, cool. Are they going to solve this crime over here? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no sense.
Like we, as adults, we realize there's many different people out here in this world. But you don't have, if it serves no purpose to tell me, like you coming up here telling me your name followed by your condition makes no fucking, it doesn't matter. Now, there is one caveat to that. If you're deaf or mute, I kind of need to know how to communicate to you.
Well, what Bernie Mac say, you need to
Or
put a
if
bell
you're
on or something.
blind.
Then you can't tell me how to communicate to you because you're blind. You don't even know what I fucking look like.
But if you say, hey, I'm Hektek, and the person standing there, they can say, hey, I'm so-and-so, you know, they're blind.
I will normally see them with a cane or a dog.
I gotta ask this. I'm sorry, Tera. I gotta ask. Are they blind people in the porn industry? Are there any blind porn stars?
Yeah, I'm sure. I've never seen them.
Do they feel your face or do they feel?
Oh my God. Out of control.
I've definitely never seen them, but yeah.
And they ain't never seen you either.
Seen you.
Which is probably perfect. There's no, you know.
I cannot believe I just joined in with the foolishness. I gotta do better.
You say that all the time, but you always come back. All right.
I'm not talking about the show. I'm talking about the joke I just made about they ain't never seen you either. I'm better than that. I should not have said that.
Oh, we just said a couple of see you jokes just now. So we all going to that place.
No.
So let me ask this. Can we tell what information is fake and what's actually real? Because I saw recently, the East Coast just got hit by a hurricane. And I realistically couldn't tell if the flood happened during, or this was pre-floods, or these were floods 5 years ago, or I just don't know what information is going on anymore.
I don't think that we can. I think you have to do your own research and figure out what you trust, your trusted sources, and do the work. We got too much with AI and CGI and people who just like to laugh. And also, there's a possibility the government has a way to manipulate the weather. They've been saying that for a very long time now. So you never know. People appear to be in love, and then the next thing you know, one of them dead, and everybody think the other person did it, or they have 8 kids, and then you find out they got 12 outside kids. We don't know anything but our own lives. However, we love to look at what we see and take it as truth. And that is one of the most dangerous things we do as people. I'm guilty of it. A lot of people are. In my heart and soul, I really need Sierra and Russell to really be in love like they look. Not because their couple goes, but just because sometimes it becomes so much when everybody you used to love is no longer together. You like, is anybody going to stay married? I just want one couple to make it, know? And
I went through that in real life. I had Karen and Bob. Those are and when they got divorced, I was like, I'm fucked.
Exactly. That's it. I'm done. So, I mean, you have your favorites, but again, you should never be modeling your life after anybody else's anyway, especially people you don't know. Right. But I don't think we can tell. I think you have to do the best that you can to try to figure out what's realistic and what you can find to believe in.
Yeah, I think people you can't fall into the trap. Too many people do this. They verify their sources based upon somebody else said the same thing. Like they look for stuff that agrees with what they already want to believe. So like I verified it because I went and searched for somebody who was saying it was right, and I found somebody who was saying it was right. So I got 2 rights. So it got to be right. Like, you got to pursue the opposite opinion as strongly as you pursue your own. Like you need to go find out what the opposite opinion is, and it might make sense to you, or it might help further entrench you in your belief. But if you only ever go searching for stuff that already says what you believe, then you never get any closer to the truth.
Anytime I really give a fuck about information that's given to me and I want to check the sources, I just go to Google. But
you still got to find reliable sources.
100%.
If it's Wikipedia, if you get all your information from Wikipedia, do not talk to me. Because clearly
Wikipedia is real. That got me through college.
I can go on Wikipedia right now and write some stuff about somebody that's not true, and it's going to be there for the next person to see.
Yeah, 100%.
I think you should always click on at least one other article that says something that you don't agree with, or that says, you know, the opposite. Now, you just can't say I found an article on Google, and so it got to be facts.
Case in point.
I mean, we just had this tonight. Somebody, Hektek, you asked a question, and somebody bold-faced lied and told you and took credit for everything. Ain't how it went at all.
I thought you wanted it to be left alone.
If I wasn't standing up for myself to go, no, that's not it. That was, you could have been led.
I was helping my brother
to
out.
believe that was true.
I was helping my brother out. I got your question answered then. I got your question answered then. I was helping my brother out.
Yeah. So it's the same thing when people be like, Bruce Willis is dead. Let me Google this real quick.
Real quick.
Oh, no, he's still alive. Y'all lying. You are lying.
You should be able to press charges against somebody who starts that rumor. Though. That's so terrible.
Do you know what pisses me off more than anything? The people who post those photos, be like a celebrity photo with a quote on top of it, and that celebrity ain't never said nothing remotely close to that shit, but they got their face and some weird shit.
Nah. So it's crazy that I try to be prepared for you, right? I try to do my due diligence and have actual questions that I wanted to ask, right? And it's crazy how all this shit's coming around full circle. Y'all don't even fucking know the questions I'm going to ask, but y'all are already on the topic. I'm tired.
He does that to me all the time. It is impossible to do my show because he didn't answer the 8th, 9th, and 10th question I was going to ask, and we on question 1. I'm like, I need you to only answer what I just asked you. I don't jump off over here to the right or to the left.
All right, and Tera, you are guilty of this next thing here.
I'm sure.
Uh-oh.
I am tired of the we knew people. Oh, we knew he was doing this. Oh, we knew he was doing that. Oh, I knew he was doing this 20 years ago. Oh, we've been knew this. We've been knew this. Y'all ain't no shit.
Listen, what we knew is that the rumors have been existing this entire time. So now that it's coming out, it's not shocking. For some people, I don't know a lot about everybody. There are certain things that do shock me. The P. Diddy thing was not one of them, though. Not at all.
Listen, and I'm a big music head. And these rumors I've never heard.
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't. So, okay, in my fairness, in my defense, I don't think I gave enough fucks to know it.
Yeah. Like the artists that I love, I don't follow their personal lives. Like I really don't care.
The only one I did was Jay-Z, but and some other ones. Like I knew DMX's life from young to, but that's only because like I went and watched documentaries about DMX. So I watched certain documentaries about certain people.
DMX.
But like,
I mean, but you had people who were whistleblowing that I liked, like RBO Day. I love Danity Kane and I love Day 26. And when you saw Making the Band and all of that stuff and how he was acting then, and then Al B. Sure, people are thinking Al B. Sure is only talking now. He's been talking for about 20 years, saying this ain't right, and I can't see my son, and he done told Kim to let him adopt my kid. Like I did follow stuff like that. I used to look at all the little tabloids and then match it to People magazine because tabloids be lying and making up stuff. But if it was in People and in the tabloid, now I'm like, okay, what's going on? So these rumblings were always around. And then I saw. And then you just notice this. Look. Everybody was always broke. Lil' Kim was out here down bad. Mary J. Blige was out here down bad. Why is he mega rich and all the people he was working with or signed to him are broke?
So in fairness, business is not a charity type of situation.
It's not, but you don't give anybody these bad deals where you know they're not going to make a dime. They're making you all this money and they can't afford a car.
Listen, some people were happy to get the fuck out of Brooklyn. I made that happen.
Which ones? Because they ain't saying that now.
Well, a couple of them are dead. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's right? But business is not a right or wrong necessarily thing, right? But
it should be, because it should be moral and ethical. It really should.
Why? It's business. Business is not
if I'm in business and you are the creative You are the writer, you're the creator, the singer. Why would I want to sign you to something where you cannot afford to live, but I get filthy rich off of you? What you mean, why?
So yes, me as a person, I want to make sure everyone that I'm touching and that's around me in my circle, I can't be the richest person in my circle, right? I want all of us to eat, right? But in that same thought process, I've been the most fucked in those situations. Right?
Why is everything about sex with you?
I don't think he meant.
What?
Go ahead.
But
you talking about you want to touch everybody around you, and
I knew how it sounded, but well, like,
my bad.
So because I would rather take the L than to have anyone ever say I did X, Y, and Z, right? Mm-hmm. In hindsight, the business mind of me is like, fuck them, fuck everything about them. Let me get what's mine first, and then they can get whatever is trickled down. I'm not saying it's right? Because there's Fortune 500 companies that's doing fucked up shit. Amazon,
the rich stay rich, and their job is to keep the poor poor. This is the model for the United States of America.
100%.
He's not going to jail for being a fucked up businessman.
He's going to jail for sex trafficking.
For sex trafficking. All right, I just want to make we talking about his business practice. All of that shit was legal.
But did y'all read? It's crazy that, like I said, I foresaw this happen. Did y'all read what they define as sex trafficking?
No, I haven't paid attention to any of it.
Okay.
They were talking about like flying people in. You're bringing people across state lines.
That's not it.
That's not it. Locking them up and not letting them leave for 2, 3, 4 days and hooking them up to IVs and all of that mess.
So you reading the tabloids, cool. So
no, that is in there. That is literally in the document.
Let me explain.
Let's go ahead and let the porn star explain to the person who was a paralegal for 10 years. Please explain to me. Let's go.
That's why I asked you, do you know what sex trafficking is? But you said fine.
I know what is in the documents for him. I know what sex trafficking is.
That's cool.
Sex trafficking is when you are using people and selling them for sex.
That's not it.
If you take these black women out of here and move them to Egypt somewhere and set them up in a den and keep them drugged and let people pay you to have sex with them, that is sex trafficking.
That's not all, is what I'm saying.
I just gave you another version, but go ahead and tell me what you think Diddy is being charged with.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
What they're saying the sex trafficking charges from him come from is not him holding people hostage. It's saying, hey, Tera Michelle, if you come over here and do X, Y, and Z, I could promise you X, Y, and Z. It is facilitating almost a quid pro quo situation, but me not fulfilling the end of my that's in there. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not by no means am I justifying anything that he's doing. Right? I'm just saying the legal jargon that's in sex trafficking itself is scary because that could really realistically hem any one of us up.
Not really, because I have not promised anybody anything for a sexual favor, so I wouldn't be caught up in that. But here's the thing. Don't tell somebody if you come over here and you screw these 4 dudes and me, I'm going to make you the biggest movie star in the world if you cannot back that up. Stop lying.
So do we take accountability away from people?
And that's my problem with this. If I called you on the phone and said, come over here and this is what we doing, and you brought your happy ass over here, I don't understand what we're doing now.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Bill Cosby said I handed her champagne. I handed her the Quaaludes. She took them. Okay, what we talking about? Case closed.
I came over 3 o'clock in the morning to talk over the script with Mr. Cosby. Bitch, we ain't talking about no script at 3 in the morning.
Or miss that was Weinstein. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Why would you do that?
It was Cosby too. I read that deposition of her testimony, and that
probably wasn't supposed to be sealed. But yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why can't it be 3 p.m.?
And then 3 days later, come back to the residence. The first time wasn't good enough. And I'm not shaming. I'm just saying.
But
I do believe that if you try to hold somebody accountable, you get charged for victim blaming. And I just don't think it's fair. I think that there were plenty of things that he did, like slipping people drugs or saying, I'm giving you a Quaalude and maybe it being Molly X or something crazy and overdoing it to the point that they need IVs. So I don't think that he was 100% innocent in that. But if somebody call you and tell you it is what it is and you show up,
but you realize the IV thing, that's you. All of us right now, even when we were at the other spot, all of us could have went to an IV spot and got hooked up. IV is like, that's a common thing for a lot of these parties.
I've never partied so hard that I needed to be hooked up to an IV for whatever the hell they're dropping.
Some of the stuff in that IV is not to recover from the party. Some of the stuff in the IV is the party.
No. It's to recover. It's to recover. That's what a lot of.
They had those ones out where we were.
Oh well, y'all.
They would give you they give you oxygen. And the oxygen is not because you can't breathe.
Yeah, right.
You get a little high when you inhale pure oxygen.
Yeah.
They had IVs and everything out there.
Yeah, but no. So I'm not saying business, him, sex trafficking. I'm not saying any of this shit's right. However,
set up a safe word. When you go over there, if you was with the shits and then he get too safe, before you go in there, hey, if I start yelling out baseball, you got to stop.
But that's not even the basis, right? Because no one had a problem until the civil suit came out.
I think they had a problem. They were just scared to say something. I'm not going to sit up here and say all these people were perfectly happy with the things that happened to them. Some of these things are horrendous, but who was going to believe them?
I mean, you said you knew.
We knew all these rumors, but I guess who am I? I can't get them the job. I can't give them the album. All the people who have been hearing these rumors and said this dude is a monster, we couldn't do anything for these people.
I mean, for me,
everybody knew about R. Kelly too, and the Aaliyah thing was world known. That tape was worldwide known.
Shit,
and he still got away with it for how long?
I was in middle school when that happened.
Yeah, so we all knew, and he still got away with it for how long? So yeah, some of the stuff we do know because the rumors and the proof have just been out there for so long. Nobody did anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess what's bothering me with this whole thing is, like you said, Tera, you're just you. Like, what are you going to do? And it's like we are having, and I'm not talking about this show, but other places, like people are having these extreme debates, and they in the comments going at each other about something that don't fucking involve you at all. Like at the end of the day, I hope. Like, if he's guilty, I hope the victims find peace. If he's guilty, I hope they punish him to the fullest extent of the law. And if he's not, I hope he gets exonerated. But that don't look like that's about to happen. So we can go ahead and scratch that one off the list.
Put a pin in that, because damn it, I'm telling y'all are really writing these questions for me. Do you feel we care more about celebrities than we do our own lives?
Facts, super facts. So people know so much about other people. Like I don't care what you are doing. Hektek, when I hang up off this video call and I go back to my apartment, I am not going to be thinking, I wonder what Hektek is doing over there. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And so I'm never curious about what all these, and if it doesn't affect me, if you like something and I don't like something,
cool.
Okay. If this is this kind of music you listen to, but I don't listen to it, okay. Like, we get really caught up in other people and their lives and what's important to them. And it's like we want to convert everybody to be us.
Or think like us or move like us. Yeah. Right. Nah, that's boring.
Oh, shut up, Flan. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know how many people care about celebrity lives more than their own, but they will put a celebrity life, or pay more attention to over their friends and their family. Like we say, let's just talk about how we all have independent podcasts. Mm-hmm. Most of my people who support me on YouTube and anything else I do are people who have never met me in my life. Mm-hmm. The people who are closest to me aren't looking to support at all. So we know that this is how we do. Like Flan has said many times, he's told his family members and friends he has a podcast, and yet they spend all day reposting Joe Budden's podcast. Ain't came to his and shared a thing or liked the thing. So I think we do that. I think people like to live vicariously through others. And sometimes I think they're specifically looking for the train wreck just so they can say, oh, finally, somebody whose life is worse than mine. Like it's misery loves company. So I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna follow every tabloid and hear every bad thing and talk about how these people ain't ish. Sometimes to make themselves feel better, which is a whole nother sad and sick,
Here's a
situation.
perfect example of people caring way more about a celebrity in their own life. Why did they have to put security? Whose mother's grave did they have to add security to because they was in a rap beef with somebody else?
Oh, it was
and the fans were going to go fuck up the grave. Like you about to go desecrate a grave of somebody who ain't got nothing to do with the beef. You don't have nothing to do with the beef. Her mama definitely don't have nothing to do with the beef.
I think that dude got shot later on too and died.
Yeah.
It was multiple people talking about going to do. Like they had to increase security at the thing because these people were so upset that it had to be Cardi B and Megan going at it, but they were so upset that whoever said whatever about Megan that they were gonna go desecrate somebody's grave.
I think it was Nicki and Megan because Cardi and Megan are close. Yeah.
Same people.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
He just proved how much he don't really pay attention to none of this shit.
I mean, because we got the WAP and then we got the bongo song. So that's why I know that they are cool because people were talking about that. I couldn't tell you a word to none of the songs, but yeah, I mean, I guess over their own lives, but I think the better the technology, the dumber the people get. So
no, I see it every fucking day. For real, for real. I was just talking to someone today and we were just talking about like photography and how now the phones are taking away photographers and editors' jobs, right? And she's like, I don't think that would ever really go away, da da da. And I had to explain to her, kids no longer write in cursive.
Yeah.
It's not a needed skill anymore.
It has to be though, because if you don't have a signature, what contract you for to sign? When it's time for you to buy a house, get your ID, buy a car, they say, "Bring me your signature," and the child is like, "What is a signature?" And then they
how many things I've signed digitally?
What about your thumbprint? Your thumbprint is
I
individually
sign digital
yours.
documents every day.
Yeah.
Well, but some people still want you to put a pen and paper to it. When you go get your ID, you got to sign your signature on the back. You cannot print.
It's digital,
and then you got to explain to that child. They got to learn how to do something.
It's digital. It's all digital.
It's not digital here in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, y'all are backwards.
How can you have a digital signature if you've never written it? I don't give a fuck if you're writing it on the screen or you writing it directly on the card. You have to do the signature.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying everything's digital now.
Not all the time. Not everywhere. I was just at a conference for work and there was a HR for a marketing firm. And she was saying they still have their employees sign up for insurance by paper.
Oh, that's
some places.
Exactly. I said in 2024, she was like, yes, it's a nightmare. I said, oh, baby, wow.
I can tell you, so my company uses something called DocuSign, which I know is very popular. A lot of companies use it. And DocuSign, when you're setting up your signature, it's going to ask you some personal information to try to prove that it's you. And then it is going to give you several examples of it writing your name in cursive that you can choose from. And every time I sign a document, I sign it with one of the software wrote my name in cursive. And I say, I like that one. Here you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Not everybody has that yet. So eventually, like Hektek is saying, maybe in 10 years, that'll be the thing.
I don't even think 10. I really don't think 10. I think 10 is very gracious. I honestly think
we see. I'm in the Midwest. We got a bunch of hollers out here. We got a bunch of backwood towns where the budget for the year is $225.
They can't read or write anyway, so we're not worried about that.
They don't care.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
But
oh my God.
But think about it, right? Think about how online shopping boosted since COVID.
Yes.
And that was 4 years ago.
That's where my channel grew from. People could not get to the stores. So I would buy stuff online and come review it here, and they would blind buy it based off my descriptions. And I have over 10,000 people willing to listen to me when I give a review of something. And it all was because of COVID. It stopped the access to everybody getting in. I made sure to buy stuff as soon as it came out and have it shipped here super fast so that you could catch in on the wave. And so, yeah, we learned COVID taught us a lot of stuff. A 100%. Lot of stuff.
Have you heard or have y'all even witnessed that they're saying the new wave of new employees are people under the age of 30 are taking their parents to the interviews with them?
No. What?
The fuck? I haven't
And
experienced.
people are letting you walk into your interview with your mommy and your daddy.
I don't know if they're walking into the actual interview, but they are being escorted to the interview with their parents. Yeah.
Well, that's because they still live with their parents and they're going to until they're 55.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of
that's
interviewing
also the
lately.
new wave. Parents are like, my kids don't have to move out if they don't want to.
I've been doing a lot of interviewing lately, and a lot of it being remote. And I think if I was interviewing somebody and your mama walked past the screen, I'm like, yeah, we moving on.
Which brings another. I'm telling y'all are legit writing on my.
What if that's the reason
they're
looking for a job, Flan? They're trying to get out of their parents' house.
McDonald's is hiring. I don't have to be the one to give you a job.
Not everybody wants to step back into that. That's too much. I could never.
Hey, I did it. I went from being an information systems engineer for Whole Foods to working out the McDonald's back cash because that's what I had to do. You do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do, but you better goddamn well believe I'm gonna be trying. I'll be on OnlyFans. Go ahead, Hektek.
So
you on real thin ice right now. I just want you.
Don't think I ain't hear that. I just caught it slow. I caught it slowly.
I'm not saying anything about the company or anything, but like I see how people talk to those people like they ain't nothing. Come in, give me my fries, and just you can't be rude to me in person. You can't. We'll be fighting. So I just know.
I think people do that in general because they're still beholden to the customer's always right, and they have not realized like most people don't give a fuck about these jobs no more.
Yep.
They're going to find.
We've actually had several McDonald's close in St. Louis because they couldn't find workers. These people are working from home, doing telemarketing or doing this stuff, and they making more money working from the house than they could at fast food, and it's starting to show in retail and fast food.
Mm-hmm. So this is a two-part.
Working at McDonald's so fun for me at certain points because I knew I had another marketable skill and I could eventually go someplace and get other work. So if I got there and you said something too crazy to me, fucking need this job. Kiss my hand.
I'm like that now. Well, you know what I mean? What you say? Okay. All right. So here's a two-part question. I'm telling you, y'all are legit writing the questions out for me, and I wrote these out today.
So your preparation was good because you somehow
100%. 100. I was foreseeing whatever was going to happen. Do you feel we are creating a different type of generational curse? Is one. And do you feel people under the age of 30 are doomed?
This is crazy because we really had like this conversation earlier. I don't want to say doomed because I feel like we're trying to say that every day. Like we try to make the situation seem more and more hopeless every day. And I just refuse to be in that situation. I've had people give up on me. And so I don't like the idea of giving up on anybody else. But I do think what's happening is we talk so much about the problems and the negativity and what's bad about the world. And if you feed people problems with no solutions for long enough, they just get used to it. So a lot of the things that are going on now are horrific and shouldn't be going on, but it's become our new norm. So we don't even look at it like something's wrong with this. We look at it like it's just everyday life. I know for me, I'm getting fatigued sometimes with like having to care. Like I turn on the news and hear some horrible story about something that has happened to some kid, but this the 15th story I heard like that in the last 2 weeks, and I just can't drum up the emotion to cry again.
We get desensitized. Yeah, we get desensitized.
So yeah, I think we're getting to a space where a lot of the stuff that we talk about these days and we talk openly about these days is not supposed to be normal. But we've been doing it for so long with no way to fix it that it's become a part of life for us.
So I'm going to. He gave you the heartfelt. I still believe in people. Fuck all that. Doom. Okay, so yes, we are creating. If you've ever seen the movie WALL-E, animated movie, where the robot was running, exactly. So we are creating people who are lazy, don't want to leave the house. You got your groceries being delivered at this point, your food being delivered. Can't none of these hoes cook. And it's just this thing where we were setting people, and you get to work from home. You never gotta leave the house no more. So you're not going to get any exercise. We're already creating this metaverse that's going to come out pretty soon. People are not going to talk anymore. Instead of doing podcasts in person, we're doing them on Zoom. We're doing them on Teams. We're doing them on Soundgarden, StreamYard, whoever. That's Soundgarden is a band. Whatever. Forget I said that. But we're doing all of these things to disassociate from one another. You know, people don't go out and meet people. You meeting on apps now, and it's different. And this world and these kids nowadays don't know what it's like to actually go and meet somebody, play with somebody, hang outside with them, talk to them, take walks. It's different. And I think if we stay on the same course, there's a potential for doom for them. A lot of them are super dumb. A lot of them believe everything they see on Wikipedia. A lot of them think that TikTok is where you're supposed to get all your news. And if it came from TikTok, it's 100% factual. So right now, yeah, I'm scared for that generation. Anybody under 30, I'm scared. You know, they wear bell bottoms and be like, look at this new fashion. They're so dumb and don't focus on their history at all that they think everything they do is original, even though it's like 8 times recycled.
I mean, I remember when about us. No, we knew better though. Well,
yeah, we knew where bell bottoms and afros came from.
But we made some movies. We made some movies and remade some songs and didn't understand that they were remakes. They didn't understand this.
So I can't. Damn.
I knew.
I didn't think I was going to agree with Tara on this one. But
listen, I knew that Lauren Hill was redoing Roberta Flack. I knew that.
You might not know.
Softly was not original. I knew that. When You Cruising was not original by D'Angelo. I knew these things.
Like, you might have not knew the artist, right? But you knew you heard it before. And remember, too, back when we were growing up, we were still listening to 60s, 70s, and 80s music.
Well, not Flan, because his mother wouldn't let him listen to secular music until he was 18, so he may not have known.
I'm just going to let that stand. I'm going to let it stand.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shit, she came out with with the right hook.
I don't know who Troop is, and I don't know who Shy is, because my mom wouldn't let me listen to their music.
I absolutely know who those people are. I don't listen to them like you listen to them.
But what I'm saying is, we listened to Thriller like it came out yesterday.
Absolutely.
We listened to Purple Rain like it was a premiere release. You know what I mean? We listened to. I didn't even know Marvin Gaye was dead until I was like in my teenage years, and he'd been dead. You feel me? Like, we just listened to music, so like music just stayed over. It spanned generations.
It was good. Our music aged well. The 60s, 70s. Now this music they come out with now is good for 2 weeks, and then you forget it.
And you forget it.
Sound alike.
Yeah, you forget it. You forget who was featured on it. So yes, the kids. I remember me and a couple of my homies. We would get kicked out the house as soon as the sun came up. It was almost like we were fucking back in the 1800s. Sun's up, get out. You know what I mean? Kind of shit. We'd be on the other side of fucking town. We knew what time we had to be home. Between the time we left to the time that street light came on, we could do whatever the fuck, as long as the cops didn't show up.
Yep.
We were good.
Yes.
You tell kids to go outside now, they'd be like they're vampires. You know what I mean? And what's with every fucking kid wearing fucking hoodies and it's 100 and something degrees outside?
And when it's 0, it's negative 23 outside. They got the same hoodie on. No coats, no short sleeves, just these hoodies. Oh, yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
And I will say that the scariest part of this whole thing, you said it, Flan, where we're making certain things normalized.
Yeah.
These motherfucking school shootings.
Oh my God.
This shit right here. I'm so tired of the news outlet trying to humanize these people. But if they were black, they're bringing up their driving on suspended license mugshot pictures.
Yep.
Trying to paint them as thugs.
Yeah.
We need to stop. Why is it when these monsters are doing these heinous crimes, we try to find out why?
Mm-hmm.
What was wrong? What's wrong in their home? What happened?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when an innocent black person dies, we're like, well, they shouldn't have been on their side of town.
Right, or they didn't comply. You have no proof of that because Black people are not valued. Black people are public enemy number one. They want to be like us and steal all of our creativity and benefit from all of our dollars, but they do not want to see us thrive. They don't respect us, and they still see us as 5/8 of a human or whatever the hell we were in the beginning. And this is long been, and because we won't unify together to take a stand or to show them our power or to do a blackout and stop spending our money to show them how much they need us. Why would they? Why would they need to change anything if they're going to do whatever they want to and we won't stop
Okay. And
That
we need,
brings
but
it.
the thing about unity that I don't think we talk about a lot is going to require us to forgive each other. We're not going to be able to keep the animosity amongst each other. Even the people who are doing the fucked up shit, even if it's the Black people versus the niggas, Black people going to have to forgive niggas and do for niggas even when they don't want to, if we're going to be unified.
Where do you
we
think
have to take our hands from around our brother's throat for a second?
Where do you think we get this animosity from? And let me put a pin in that question. So remember it. And why is it American Black versus African Black versus Caribbean Black versus French Black versus British Black versus Irish Black versus, like, why is there all these
cultures? The cultures are different, and most of these other cultures know their history. We are a new phenomenon. The American Black person is a new. We were stolen from. A lot of us were stolen. Some of us were already here. Names were here, but some of us were stolen from Africa and brought here, ripped away from everything they know. You don't know what tribe you came from, who your grandparents were. So we are a lost people. We are a new like sub-genre or subculture that's never existed before with no history. We are by definition a lost people, where most of these other people know exactly what their temples mean, who their gods were, and all that other stuff. We are a lost people. And we also have the worst reputation. So when you have somebody from Britain or somebody from Haiti or Jamaica, they don't want to be lumped in with, especially the women. Because apparently American Black women are the scum of the earth and nobody should want them. You see, anytime they do these polls, we rank lowest and Asian men rank lowest. You see a lot of Black women with Asian men now. So it's like, that's why the cultures are different. They were raised different with knowledges and etiquette and all these other things that we don't have, that we've never had. So I think that's why there's such a difference. You would never want to be lumped in. If you looked at somebody like they were nothing but trouble and nothing but trash, and somebody came and called you the same thing they called them, you'd be like, no, I'm not. Nah, don't put me in that category. Like, don't call me no hoe or no bitch. You call me a woman because I carry myself as such. So it's like that.
I think it's a mix of some of that, and some of it is human nature because we're not the only group that you see shit like this in. And
we're the majority.
Yes,
we don't
this is the only race that we're winning at right now.
Yeah. Okay. But like if you put some, and because you can condition people to do this. If you put an entire group of people at the bottom and you keep them at the bottom, there's no way for you to not be on the bottom. The way I cannot be on the bottom is for me to consider somebody beneath me, and so now I'm not on the bottom anymore. I got at least one layer beneath me, and people will instantly feel better. We just try to find ways to separate ourselves in some ways so we can be better than that. Because everywhere else we go, we looked at it as the worst.
Yeah,
we kind of even like you brought up, some of your topics on your show, the N-word.
Which Hektek doesn't like.
I'll be forgetting. My bad, Hektek.
No, you're good. You can say it. But the reason I could tell you why I don't. I remember I went to an all-Black school for like elementary and middle school. And I would have those Black queens that just rolled me hard. Like I could do no right. And I remember like asking, like, why are y'all on me like this, And someone tell me, because if we don't, when you get out there in this world, they definitely won't. You know what I mean? Like, they will look at you like you are enemy number one. So we have to give you the information because they're not going to, right? And I remember watching, they would put us It was nothing for them to sit us in the class and put on these civil rights movies and, I mean, really, really drilling in the heads. And for some reason, it touched me more than it touched other people. I could, you know what I mean? I felt that was, man, I wanted to join the Black Panther and I didn't even know they weren't around. Like, I was militant. You know what I mean?
I love that. I would love to see a militant Hektek. That would have been the most adorable thing I've ever seen.
It was dope.
Everything.
However, when people used to say, we are taking this word back and we are revitalizing it and turning it into a positive thing, I was like, y'all are fucking retarded. Sorry. I'm sorry. What? That sounds dumb. That sounds dumb. And there's no way no one could ever tell me it's a term of endearment. For who? People were hung.
Mm-hmm.
People were drowned, shot, fucking tar and feathered.
By people who meant harm and meant to weaponize the word. I'm going to tell you that I have seen it turned around in ways that have been extraordinary to me. So I understand it was a term of endearment for us when we were growing up. My nigga, that's what we would say, you know, all this, and it was never ER. But you could also be mad at somebody like, you stupid at, you know what I'm saying? So you can use it however you want. But the point was, there were a lot of us who wouldn't let us be moved by a white person saying that anymore. It's been plenty of times we were in situations where we were like, but I bet you won't touch me. You can keep saying that word, and then we throw it back and call them, but we still wouldn't say it with an ER. We would just call my nigga, my this, my that. You the stupid ass nigga, stuff like that to a white dude. And they be like, don't call me that. And they're mad about us saying it to them while we're laughing when they say it to us. And we're still saying, but I bet you won't touch me though. I bet you won't come across the street. I bet you won't get out the car. So for us, it was a little semblance of something that we could do to take that power and their weaponization of the word out. It's a part of the culture. It's ingrained. It's all I ever heard from people I loved and people who, you know, didn't like each other. We just were mind fucking them into saying, you don't get to do us like you did them. Because now we fight back. You know what I'm saying? So, and now I see white boys calling each other that. Like literally going back and forth. And it's like it's cool. It's not the heinous thing that it used to be. So if somebody rides like that or rocks with it like that, I don't mind. I also respect the yous and the Oprahs of the world who go, it's just not for me. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's just respecting other people. Like Tera said, for me, it's a part of my culture. It's a part of is the music I listen to, the people I talk to on a daily basis, the people I hang around, the people I grew up with. Like, it's a part of my culture. But I understand. I understand that it's an individual thing, that it's not even ubiquitous amongst Black people. I can't just go anywhere and see a Black person and think that's on the table. You got to know the person. I'm usually better at doing this, Hektek, so my bad. But I know how to go places and not say it. It bothers me that you have people that we're asking you not to say it and you just feel like, nah, I just got to. Like, I know how to control myself. Why the fuck don't you? Like,
right. We don't say it at work. So you got to have a filter. But you got some people who can't stand to see a Black person say that. What you mean? And they gonna call you that anyway because they know it bothers you. Because they feel like you a Carlton or you a sellout or you trying to seem like you better than. Look, I just want, if that's something that bothers you and you don't want me to refer to you as such, I'm not going to.
Why?
It's very simple.
So I remember growing up, whether you grew up in the hood, suburbs, whatever, normally if you grew up in the hood, you wanted to escape the ghetto. You wanted to separate every form, fascist. You didn't want to associate with that. Once you got your little bit of money and was able to move, you were out. Why is so cool now to be ghetto and hood and ratchet and unmannerisms and all? Like, when did that become the thing that?
So I'm torn a little bit on it, and this again goes back to a conversation that we just had today.
We talked about all this earlier today. This is absolutely crazy.
Just had today.
100%.
So, Marshawn Lynch is one of my favorite human beings on the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see what's happening with Snoop Dogg right now. and the way he's America's
moving. Yeah.
And I think part of what they are doing, and somebody explained this to me before, they were like, spiders are not an inherent bad thing. They're natural. They do something. They serve a function. You know, they don't prey on humans. Usually when we have a bad interaction with them, it's because we invaded their space or they accidentally ended up in ours. But there's nothing inherently wrong with spiders. But they've gotten a bad rap, and so now people have a fear of them. So like, you know, what they compare what black people do to a spider dressing up like a butterfly so that people would accept them. Maybe you get the acceptance, but people never stop being afraid of spiders. It's like, I think like Marshawn and Snoop and some other people going places and showing I can dress like this. I can have gold teeth in my mouth. I may use slang, and that does not change the value of me as a person. I'm still Marshawn Lynch. I still have something valuable to say. I'm not a negative person. You don't have to fear me. You don't have to think all of these things about me that you may have thought because I act a certain way. Like, they gone as themselves and showed people that just that sounding like this and talking like this and looking like this doesn't make me a bad person. Now, with some of the stuff that you were saying, Hektek, like, yeah, the poor mannerisms and the being rude or whatever, all that, that's unnecessary. But I think there's a part of our culture that we suppress when we go around other people because it makes them uncomfortable. And we may need to start conditioning people to be comfortable with it because there's nothing inherently wrong with it.
Okay,
You may see some people who talk like that do fucked up shit, but that don't mean because I talk like that, I do fucked up shit.
My answer to the question is so very different from his. I think, honest. I think the reason that it's popular now is because that's what they want. That's the perception they want of us. These music execs are pushing this horrible death, murder, kill everybody music. They're letting people like Sexy Red, who named their lip gloss line after STDs and STIs. This is the perception you want. The love and hip hops, the basketball wives. None of these people are married to anybody of importance, but somehow they're on these shows. And the perception of Black women is that we all sleep with the same man and we beat each other up and we throw drinks and we pull hair. Like every single thing about us, they want to look bad. This is why when we get murdered in the streets by cops, people are going, we got another dog off the street. We got another animal off the street. There are a lot of white people who don't know any Black people. And on their television screens, all they have is these types of examples. This music, these videos, this subject matter, and it's being pushed and perpetrated because they want us to always be public enemy number one. I know people buy into it because they just want to see somebody win. There's so many girls who say, I hate Sexy Red's music. I don't like what she stands for. I don't condone her, but I want to see her get that check. Go on, sis, and get that money. So at this point, people are so broke and destitute and uneducated that by any means necessary on getting that check, they're here for it. So I think it's just one big, nasty, trifling ass disaster.
I remember I was in Iraq. And one of my...
Iraq?
Yeah.
Did you say Iraq?
He said Iraq.
Yeah.
No, wait, what? That's a wild place for. I've never heard somebody that I didn't know was in the military say, "Yeah, I'm chilling in Iraq, going swimming and shit."
Yeah, I'm cultured. So
you were doing them booty. Oh my, never mind.
I don't know if you can do that in Iraq.
Nah, I definitely can do it.
You can go to find somebody with a hijab and get it in. I seen them.
So I was in Iraq and one of my buddies came up to me and he was Black and he was like, "Hey, my white buddy," he's like, "He's racist." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "He's racist." I'm like, "No, I heard you, but what do you mean?" Right? Because my experience with this white person is vastly different than what he's telling me right now. I've been to this dude's house. We've been out on the town together. I ate at dinner with him and his family, the whole nine, right? So me still being semi-mature, and like I said, I'm able to put myself in other people's shoes and not just flip off the handle, because I could have took what he said and was like, "Oh, you blah, 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 blah," and just went off at the tangent, right? So I go over to the dude and I'm like, "Hey, I need to talk to you for a minute." He's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Well, there's rumors that you're racist." And he rolls his eyes and he's like, "Well, let me explain." I'm like, "Okay, cool." He was like, "I grew up in South Boston."
Here we go.
In South Boston, there's no Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Not an ounce, right? It's probably changed now because of how stuff is, but then definitely not. He was like the only representation I had of black people was from TV.
Mm-hmm.
I had no other representation of black people till I got around people like yourself and other people. So it changed my perspective because this was all that we saw in relations to. He was like, so
Yeah.
it's not that I'm racist. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
He was like, in fairness, I'm probably more ignorant than racist.
Yep.
And
And
I
this is
was
what we
like,
put out there.
and I was
We
like,
willingly do this.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because it was a lot of day, but we don't have to participate. We don't have to go along with it. And even we
listen,
can still get the bag because they can't make none of it without us. So we're not at a point where we have to make the content that they want in order to make it. They can't make none of it. So whatever we give them, they're gonna have to run with because they have no other product. So if we give them the product that they want, we 100%
they say
complicit.
the black community, the black culture is $1 trillion business. Trillion.
And we won't
And we
unify
almost
together
own
to
none of
stop
it.
bringing that money in. And we got together for just one day, one holiday, 1 week, and showed them the detriment we could cause their companies if we stop shopping. They listen and do right. They do more. But we don't even look at our power like that. We're so siloed. We're so individualistic that we can't eat. Oh my God, it's just it's a nightmare. I don't need it. It's a nightmare.
When we're more, and not to be in politics because but where we're more concerned with whether the one presidential candidate is black or not is crazy to me.
My problem with that, because I'm one of those people, my problem with that is this. Historically, we have been told her father was born in Jamaica to an Indian woman and an Irish man. Being born in Jamaica does not make you black. And she went, you can go to a HBCU and not be black. But I think she plays the card to get our vote. It's pandering. She has never thought she was black. She's never played the part of being a black woman. And she's told us in multiple interviews, she's not doing anything specifically for black people. She doesn't believe in reparations or any of that. So here's my thing. Don't keep answering the questions. Stop lying and saying you're black unless you prove it, because you're not. You're Indian and Irish. That's what you are. You left your black husband and went and got you a white one. Just run as Kamala Harris. Don't come up to me talking about you a black woman, you carry hot sauce in your purse. I smacked. Anyway, I cannot stand this woman, but I also cannot stand Trump. But I just don't want you to run on the black ticket. I just if she wins, I can't wait 4 years from now to ask all the black women who were so happy about her. Now, what the fuck did she do for you? I'm just curious. It's the lie for me. Don't lie and don't use us to be cool to get our vote and then turn your back on us. And that's what's going to happen.
I mean, that's been politics since I've been alive. But that don't make it
right. We got to stop them. Eventually, we got to stop voting for these people.
But yes, and yes. There's pandering on both sides. 100%. You know what I mean? If the other person could do a rap music video right now, I think they would. You feel me?
Oh my God, them gold shoes. Oh God, somebody stop that.
There's pandering on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and someone said it years ago. We only matter every 4 years.
Yes. But I expect that from a white person. It bothers me when it's a melanated person doing it. I just don't keep answering the damn question.
But you also kind of answered your own question. We assume what she identifies with. If someone just says, like, for me, for instance, that's a black man. No, I'm from the Caribbean. Right? No one can tell.
They're talking about your skin color.
They talking about my skin color. They don't know. I might not identify with that side.
That's like Fat Joe. We talking about he black. Okay, Afro Latina, whatever.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. So we just assume what shit. And sometimes if someone gives you a golden ticket, it's up for you to say whether you're going to accept that golden ticket and be like, nah.
Because Indian people check the white box. When they apply for things, they check the white box.
Everyone checks the white box.
I have never in my life. I'm going to say I would never. Even if one of my parents was white, I wouldn't.
So with that, we have wrapped up.
Oh, no. Let me answer your other question. You told us to put a pin in. I think the reason you were talking about asking why we are, what was it saying?
Why are we so against one another? Pretty much.
That goes all the way back to at least slavery for the United States of America. You the light skin versus dark skin wars. And you have the master rapes the woman, creates a mulatto baby, raises that baby to stand on the porch and watch the ones in the field and report everything they do. Any uprisings, any conversations about doing anything. You break the man down in front of the woman. Then you create years and years later, you get the welfare system where you teach a Black woman the value of her man is nothing because you will give her food stamps and whatever else she needs to kick him out of the house. We have been taught to hate each other. We've been oppressed and taught self-hate and hate for one another to keep us from unifying. Because the moment that we unify, we become the most powerful people here. And that's the last thing that they want. And they're so very good at it. I had a white woman ask me, well, who was my friend? Asked me during the George Floyd situation. Sarah Michelle, can I ask you a question? Because you're always a safe space. You know, we talked about hair and why you shouldn't ask a Black woman to all those things. And she said to me, how do Black people expect white people to care when they're murdered, when they kill each other every day? And she wasn't trying to be a race. This was a serious question from a 55-year-old white woman. And I said, I had to calm down first because I knew I had love for her. I said, ask you a question. With all the school shootings, the club shootings, the movie theater shootings.
White people kill white people all the time.
Who's doing it? White men. So when you come in, you say, you see it on the news all the time that one Black boy shot another Black boy. Let's count the numbers. So Pookie killed Day Day, but this white boy went to the movie theater and killed 80 people. They went to the Ariana Grande concert and killed 300 people. So why are you desensitized to the people like you doing it? But when we do it, we don't deserve for people to care. Yeah, I said, when you're looking at George Floyd and this dude neck and you seeing him die, you shouldn't be looking at a Black man dying. You should be looking at a human being being murdered. It shouldn't matter what color he is. And we had a long conversation and she got there and she was very appreciative. And I'm glad I took that teachable moment because if I'd have snapped on her, it just would have further proved to her what she was thinking before we started talking. But that's the kind of desensitization we do. I mean, desensitizing nature we have.
And I get those questions from white people all the time. And I don't even get mad because if you're ignorant, you're just ignorant. Ignorance is not a slight on a person. Ignorance just means lack of knowledge of. You just have a lack of knowledge. I can't expect for you to understand what it is as a Black man to be handcuffed just based on suspicion alone when you're a white female. It's impossible.
But you should have care and consideration for a person being murdered, no matter their color. It doesn't matter. He hadn't killed anybody. So you should care because he was a human being who just died. But
the law in New York that greatly is no longer really in effect. The random stop and frisk. Why? Mm-hmm. Why am I just stopped minding my own goddamn business?
Walking by Black.
So it should be the same care all the way around. Go ahead, Flan.
Hey, to go back to the question that she was answering about, why we're so against each other or so separated. I think the better question is, why do we stay that way? We know how we got this way. I think we've been made aware at this point how we got here. We know there's somebody, we've been conditioned and we were taught. We know that. So now, how do we get out of it? What are we going to do to undo it? What are we going to do to unteach this thing? Like, I don't want to believe it's a hopeless cause that we are so indoctrinated there's no way out. So at this point, we know. So now what do we do to get out?
I believe, going back to the whole generational curse thing, on the flip side of that, our kids, it'd almost be like, damn, there was slavery?
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's been whitewashed. It's all been erased. Yep. And by 2060, a lot of these kids gonna all be brown because these white girls snatching up these Black dudes left and right. And right now, the Caucasian birth rate is negative. It's at a negative birth rate. And that's why they freaking out like they are. So in 2060, this might be a whole different world. This might not even be an issue too much anymore.
Right. No, I'll be dead by then. But yeah. All right. So okay. So this is how I want this done, right? Because y'all are multifaceted people. One at a time, shout out your own individual shit, and then together, shout out your joint shit.
She does the one man, one woman podcast. She says it in a very particular way. So
Go ahead.
She can have that one on her own.
So he gave you the trophy. So you're gonna be talking twice. Cool. Go ahead.
I am Tera Michelle, and you can find me on YouTube. I have a fragrance channel called Opinionated Scents, and you can also find me on Instagram at opinionated_scents. I share a podcast with Flan called One Man and One Woman, the podcast. And you can find us on all streaming platforms and YouTube.
So yeah, I ain't want to step on
wait. YouTube wouldn't be considered in all platforms?
I mean, it's not is it a streaming service? I mean, I'm free because I got it like that, but I guess for other people it might be.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay. You just have to suffer through commercials.
You're right. If you don't want, I don't do ads.
She's not used to ads.
Oh, you got money. You got money.
I don't have to pay for it, boo-boo.
When you hit them numbers, you know.
I ain't hit them numbers then.
But yeah, I am the host of a far less successful podcast, the What Is TWS.
He got to pay for his YouTube.
I pay for all of my YouTube. No, I don't even pay for Hektek. I just watch ads, and then I got to hear people complain about it when they have my host.
In case you didn't hear him, it's called the What Is TWS.
I haven't put out an episode in a while, so you know. But
it's still fascinating. I know someone who went back to the beginning and listened to all the episodes and then fell in love with them. So I suggest giving it a listen.
I will be coming. And I also have the League of Kings podcast. We drop episodes every Wednesday on all your major streaming platforms. And then opulenceradio.com. I hope if you tune in right now, there's some on, I don't know. But on Tuesdays, typically, most of the time, I'm on a show called Happy Hour, All on the Table Happy Hour. Myself, Raw, and Easy the General. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. So roll the dice. Or say a prayer and then tune in and maybe it'll work out for you. Let's see.
Yeah. So this is this was another fantastic episode of Whatever by Hektek. Like I said, I could screenshot y'all the and show you that literally everything that we talked about, y'all either brought up already or whatever. So it's crazy. We're on Spotify every Saturday night at 8 Central, p.m. 8 Central, and YouTube on Mondays at 8 Central time. This is a new vibe, I've never just had adult entertainers on. I try to shake it up a little bit. So I'm glad that we had this because y'all definitely shook up my monotonous because the first couple of episodes, I'm like, fuck. All right, cool. There's only so much I could talk about fucking.
Oh my gosh, that is freaking hilarious.
So, check. This is season 2. We're on season 2. I will leave you with this: keep those close that are close to you. Keep those loyal that are loyal to you, and don't do anything that you just don't want to do. And without that, we're out.
Absolutely, I love that.